I'm JB. Tune in to Jazz and Stuff for the feature artist of a lifetime.
And I'm Theresa of Being Broke Isn't Cute with your weekly financial tips.
And I'm Ms. Ali with your hot spots and health and wellness tips for the week. Join us every Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. on THA After Party Radio.
Back on live with Jazz and Stuff Radio. This is your Jazz and Stuff Radio team. Ms. Ali, we got JB, Theresa, Michael is here, and we also have our special guest for the evening in the house, Mr. Calvin Young. Here from the Gwen Mackey Youth Program. So we're about to talk about some good stuff. But we're so glad that you could join us this afternoon or evening. 6:30. We're so happy to have you here with us. So just to go ahead and get us started, I want to talk about this youth program that you're a part of. Tell us your affiliation with the program, and then a little bit about that program, and then how we as citizens can get involved with the program.
Well, the Gwen Mackey Youth Program has been around about 10 years now, and we do a lot of the seminars, motivation seminars. We team up with different schools around different states, and we do different type of seminars depending on what the school needs. We do a lot of golf tournaments. We raise food for families in need for the holidays. Big toy drive golf tournaments where we raise toys and give them out to different schools. This year we have about 4 schools. We partnered with one school in Detroit, Michigan. We just had a golf outing there in July, and we was able to raise over $300 or $400, and we want to be able to give those out to families in need this holiday season. We've been doing it for the last 6 years, and so far we have been able to help over, I'd say, 500 families. And it brings a smile to my face when you see other people with smiles on their face. Our headquarters is here in Dallas, Texas. We have an office in LA, we have an office in Houston, we have one in Chicago, and we're trying to go into the Detroit area now.
So, Calvin, you were saying that you all go into these different locations and you do fundraisers and things like that. Are you publicly funded or 501(c)(3) or?
We are a nonprofit foundation. We don't get grants or we don't get financial aid. We have private sponsors, and and we have private sponsors. That's how we raise a lot of our money.
Okay.
The reason I did not want to get grants and financial aid, I want to be able to put my own money into it and my sponsors, over years, and then people will see that we for real when you put your own money into it.
Right. And there's a lot of limitations to going through a 501(c)(3)
You got so many people
program
out there now that they getting all this money from financial aid and grants, and sometimes they're not doing the right thing. And we just chose a different route where over the last 8 or 9 years, I said, hey, we put my own money into it with my sponsors, and then what I learned was when people see that you're trying to do the right thing, people will get involved. When they see that you're not taking your money and buying houses and buying cars and
Bentleys,
buying dairy,
things like that,
want to be the man. But, it becomes a time when you grow up and you realize a lot of things that you think you need in life, you really don't. And, I look back over my life, and I can see a lot of money I spent in areas that I didn't read half the stuff I bought. And so, through my foundation, my goal is to continue to grow it. We want to be in every major city by 2020. That's one of our goals. And but my main thing is just trying to do the right thing for the kids.
Okay, and so what's the age group that you typically assist?
We go from about 3-year-olds to about the 6th and 7th grade.
Okay, so what, 12, 13-ish? Is that about right?
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Okay, about 13.
Yeah.
Okay.
But we also now during the Thanksgiving, the food drives, we help families, the high school families, the people who's in need. It could be high school, it could be elementary, and it could be whoever's in need for those schools.
Okay, so that leads into the next question because I was going to ask, what do you have coming up for the holiday? What types of drives and things like that? Maybe folks can get involved.
We have a food drive that's coming up in December. I mean, not a food drive, a toy drive. I'm sorry. We just had a big food drive golf tournament last month on September 26th. That went well. We have a toy drive that's coming up in December to raise toys for families in need for the holiday season. And you know, a lot of people don't know this. Mr. Brown has actually been around me my whole life.
Okay.
I mean, literally, he's like a dad to me.
Mm-hmm.
Me and his son grew up together.
Yes.
And where we come from, the neck of the woods where we come from, this is not something that I haven't lived. The hard times, you know, we didn't have a lot, but you know, we never went home.
Okay.
Right.
And it makes a difference, you know, when you have lived, when you have walked that road, and you can turn around and help somebody through their hard times because you've been down that road.
Yes.
You know how it is not to eat, not to have. You don't know what you're gonna eat when you get home. You know you're gonna eat, but you don't know what it could be. Sandwiches, it could be press ham, it could be whatever. And you know, I, if I'm not mistaken, I can remember from the 4th grade all the way to the 7th. I probably had 3 or 4 pair of jeans. But one thing my mom and my grandmother always did, they told me to always wash them and keep them clean. And nobody never knew the difference.
Right.
It ain't what I have learned. It ain't what you have. It's what you do, what you have.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
And you know, we get so tied up in most people go in debt because of they want the next big
They're
thing.
trying to beat the Joneses.
They want the
or
next
whatever.
big thing. Pride is the number one killer
That's right.
I would agree.
of people. Go ahead.
So I was going to ask, as you're kind of spitting some knowledge and you're kind of going beyond just giving and helping in the community, as some of your seminars and things, is that kind of what you talk about is, you know, explaining to some of these kids, you know, the differences and you know, what things that they need to consider. You know, I know some of these younger ones, but you know, kids that are turning 12, 13, they understand what's going on in the house enough to, you know, kind of have us for it to be impactful. And so, you know, when you're doing your seminars and stuff, do you talk to them at all about, you know, how they can grow and things that they, you know, some of the pitfalls, I guess, to avoid?
Yeah, let me say this. We have a seminar that's coming up in February, and I usually don't put the cart before the horse. I usually don't talk about it. I usually wait till it comes, and then after the event we talk about it. But for example, we have a seminar that's coming up in February. The topic is you can still make it.
Okay.
And what that means is the kids in high school, the ones that have had babies, the ones that had drug problems or any kind of problems that they are trying to overcome, that seminar will be targeted towards those kids.
Okay.
You can still make it. To give them hope, because we all fall, we all come short. You know, we all come and have our shortfallings, and you know, we can sit around here and act like we got it all together. Nobody has it all together.
Exactly.
You know, behind closed doors, we all got problems. We all hurt in some kind of area, and it's our duty as people, as human beings, as godly people, is to help our brothers and sisters through their hard times. Everybody have their own road of success. Everybody have their own road of hard times. And whatever the road of hard times, when God brings you out of those trials and tribulations, it's our duty to reach back and help other people who's coming down that road.
Yep.
And if we don't do that, we have wasted our life. You know, anytime if you can't help nobody through their hard times, especially the road that you've been down, there's somebody out there, some kid, some young adult. Somebody is going down that road that you have made it through, that God has given you the strength to come out of. And if you can't reach back and grab their hand, you might need to look yourself in the mirror.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But that seminar is targeted for those kids, the ones that have had kids out of wedlock, whatever it may be. The goal is that you can still make it.
Okay.
That would be the topic. And we're putting that together for February.
Now, do you guys partner with any other organizations and programs in the Dallas area or anywhere else, you know, like when you're doing your drives and things like that? Because you guys focus on a certain age group. Are there other, you know, affiliations that you have?
Well, we haven't really partnered with other foundations. It's not that we don't want to partner with another foundation, but whatever our partnership is, it has to fit. You know, if it don't fit, we don't
What
partner.
your mission is?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. We don't just partner with anybody. We want to partner with people that's going in the same direction that we're going in.
Yeah.
I mean, and like I said, it takes time to find those type of foundations that's going in the same direction that you're going in.
Yeah.
Because everybody have different visions, but one common goal, if you can get there.
Exactly.
That's the hardest part of getting there. You know, so you have to, now, while we'll say we have good Fortune 500 companies that have partnered with us.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to give some of their names out, but, you know, we have 3 or 4 that's, and Anthony know who they are. And, you know, they have been a blessing to us. And, you know, but it goes back to the bottom line is, if people is seeing what you're doing, if they see that you're trying to do the right thing, people will get behind you.
Absolutely.
And, you know, through all my trials and tribulations, you know, God has brought me through some very, very hard times in my life. And, but at the end of the day, it's one common goal, and that's unity. And, you know, power's in unity. And a lot of people don't understand that. You know,
Oh my goodness,
if
true.
you got unity, you have like a marriage or a best friend. You know, if you can have all the money in the world, but you don't have unity, you have nothing. If you can't sit down and talk to somebody at the end of the day, and you have nothing. It's all about powers and unity, and the devil knows that. And the devil is a big thing on deception. And as long as he can keep people deceived, he's going to win. But as long as we stay in God and build unity, and kids need love.
Yes.
You'd be surprised what goes on in people's households.
Oh yes.
I mean, it will blow your mind some of the things that we hear at different seminars that we have. But like I said, if all the foundations out there, if you can't get there by yourself, you can't get to the top by yourself. Nobody can.
Nobody ever has.
And when people learn how to partnership, that's power.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But there's so many people stuck on I want to do it by myself.
Right.
But you have to partner with people to get where you're going.
Absolutely.
And you have to partner with the right people. So,
Absolutely.
you know, my main goal at the end of the night is when I can look back and I can see a smile on a kid's face or a parent or whoever, that makes my day.
Right.
You know, I could be having a very bad day. But when I see other kids that smile, you know, it brings joy to my heart.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
That's awesome. We're gonna go take a quick break, and then we're gonna come back because I want to make sure we share your contact information with our listeners, and just chat a little bit more before the end of our night. So let's jump into how about a little Alexander O'Neal. We'll be right back. Jazz and Stuff Radio. So why don't you go ahead and share with our listeners how they can contact you?
Gwen Mackey Youth Program at GwenMackey Youth Program.org.
Okay.
And we on Facebook, we on YouTube. You can Google us. You can see all the stuff we do in Google, and go to our website.
Okay, we need to make sure we share.
It's
their
already
page
on there.
Okay,
Yeah, it's
perfect.
already
So
on the Jazz and
you
Stuff
can also
page.
go on the Jazz and Stuff page and make sure that you like that, and then follow Calvin in the program there. And so coming up this year, you're doing the toy drive, and that's going to be in December. You said,
Yeah,
right?
we have a toy drive that's coming up in December, and then we'll sometime end of December we'll lay out our seminars for the spring.
Okay, perfect.
And let me say, I want to thank y'all for inviting me to y'all radio station, and I have had a great time, and hopefully through unity, everybody can grow. Because there's power in unity, and we have to realize that unity is the key.
Yes, and our children are so
our
important.
children are the future, and
Yes,
it's just amazing. We have to grab them and try to show them the right way, because you got so many now distractions. You got so many areas that's pulling at them, saying this is the right way, this is the right way, this is the right way. But let me say this before I leave: God's word is not going to change.
No.
Right.
People can do what they want to do. People can say what they want to say, but God's word is principle.
Yes.
And I tell them youth all the time, if you ever want the right answer, the Bible will tell you the right way. You can listen to your mama, she can tell you that way. She can listen to your daddy, your friend. But if you want a sound answer, God's word is not going to change. It's real, and we living in those times. And if you want to know where we're going, just read the Bible. Just read the Bible. But His word ain't going to change. And we have to be careful about, young adults, people in general have to be careful about what they touch. You got to learn what to touch and what not to touch in life.
Yeah, we have to lead by example.
Yeah, we have to lead by example.
We can't blame everything on these children. I'm going to go ahead and throw a song in.
Go ahead.
We can't leave everything for the children to decide either, because they don't know.
They don't
They're
know.
doing what they
They're
see.
not able
They
to
don't
make
know.
the decision. They have no
Yeah,
experience.
so we definitely have to make sure we do our part as adults, and those of us who know better, we have to do better in order for our kids to experience better.
Well, we got to be example. We got to be the forefront. They're looking at us.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely.
They're looking at us.
So definitely, folks, if you want to get in touch with Calvin, please check out our Facebook page, Jazz and Stuff Radio, or go to the Gwen Mackey. Is it Gwen Mackey Youth Program on Facebook?
Yes.
Okay, and then you can get the website from that page, and also get Calvin's direct contact information and reach out to him for the programs that he's got coming up. We want to thank you so much for coming on our show.
I'm glad to be here.
We are so happy to have you. So we are.
I'm JB. Tune in to Jazz and Stuff for the feature artist of a lifetime.
And I'm Theresa of Being Broke Isn't Cute with your weekly financial tips.
And I'm Ms. Ali with your hot spots and health and wellness tips for the week. Join us every Wednesday, 5 to 8 p.m. on THA After Party Radio.